Good evening, Fernwood. It is your erudite editor, Neil, and it's time for us to take in the eventful exploits of Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 228 from February 16th, 1977. Let's take a look at yesterday. Merle and Wanda started the episode by talking through their relationship. Merle seems very troubled that Wanda, in addition to not giving Merle sexual attention, has been getting sexual pleasure from Lila, their cleaning lady. Wanda says that Lila gives her things that Merle can't give her, and that they both see love in the same way. Merle hints at suggesting that this could be grounds for divorce, and Wanda takes him into the bedroom, leaving Lila to her own devices. Over at the Haggers, Loretta is sorting through items that she can keep or throw away so she can keep the house cleaner. A pizza delivery guy shows up with a pie, and she tips him 25 cents, and gets a call from Charlie, who is enjoying guy time with Mac at the Capri Lounge. Loretta sings out her loneliness. Then, after the commercial break, Mary is preparing for her own party when Loretta calls her to see if she will go out to see A Star Is Born. Mary says that she has other plans, but that Loretta can stop by if things get too bad on her own. And then Mary is visited by a realtor who says that the Gimbel house has been put up for sale. And Mary makes sure to mention that there were a couple of deaths. She seems to want to make sure the house doesn't sell. It turns out that Mary's party is with her workmates, Tex and Tiny, and also Vernon, who works in management. Mary has invited them all over for poker night, though she barely knows how to play herself. However, through her ignorance, she still is able to beat them at a hand. It seems like Mary doesn't understand the social dynamics of playing poker, nor does she understand that keeping confidences from management might be something worth doing. Then Charlie and Mac show up on their way back from the Capri Lounge, and they're followed immediately by Loretta, who runs off in a huff because she feels like she wasn't included. We then cross over to Mary and Tom making out in the bedroom later. They're interrupted by Heather, who had a nightmare, and as Mary comforts her, Heather makes clear that she and Philip did not go all the way, and the Hartman family seems harmonious for once. And everyone, that was yesterday's episode. It has been a really emotional week so far, so why don't we get this Wednesday started?
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Hi, Mary.
One down, two.
Mary, what are you doing? It's freezing in here.
The fresh air, it's very good for your brain cells, Tom. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I had breakfast, I had doubles on bacon, and I did all my exercises.
Exercise?
Yeah, like Jack LaLanne. Oh, did you know that 50 laps around this kitchen is equal to a half a mile?
Mary, what are you doing all this for, huh?
Oh, energy, Colin. Energy. It's just the key word for industrial living.
What, is that an exercise?
Well, I'm not sure.
You know, if the guys at the plant saw you now, they'd think I was a real jerk.
Tom, how can you say that? I've never felt so energetic in my life. I mean, like at the plant, it's like I just feel like I'm really doing something now. You know, I'm building a better America. Or maybe a car, but I really like those guys. I mean, I just hope this means as much to you as it does to me.
What, screw an A into B? I mean, that's mechanical.
It's so much more than that. I mean, I've never felt so close with people like this in my life. It's like I'm part of the whole. It's like I'm a slice of the pie. I'm a cog in the wheel.
More like a pain in the neck, that's what it seems. Mary, I never see you anymore.
That's not true, Tom. You see me at lunch. You see me on all the breaks.
No, what is that, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there? I mean, don't you ever slow down? Let me tell you something else. The guys are not so happy with your enthusiasm. And the rumor is they're getting resentful. I mean, Mary, you got to understand something. They were perfectly happy being bored and uncommitted.
You're kidding? You really think they resent me?
Well,
maybe I should bake them a cake tomorrow.
Look, Mary, look, management could care less about helpful hints and new work ideas. Neither could the guys. I mean, after all, you got to remember something. The plant has a long tradition.
What are you saying, that I don't fit in? I do fit in, don't I, Tom? I mean, I respect that tradition at the plant. I feel it and I like it. I'm just trying to make the place friendlier, that's all.
Let me tell you something. Okay, for your own good. Don't force yourself on the guys so much. I mean, all this buddy business. I mean, going out after work and drinking with them at the Capri and staying up all night playing poker. I mean, you know, what is this? What is it, a recreation center? What about me? Huh? What about me? I mean, after all, look, I spend all day with those guys, right? At night, I want to be with you.
Oh, Tom, you're so sweet. I love you. But don't you see, like, at the plant, it's like I'm a worker. I'm just like all the other workers. You know, I belong to the plant. It's pulses and my pulses. It's pitfalls and my pitfalls. It's guys, my guys.
What are you, den mother?
No, Tom, don't you see, like, I never played sports or anything. I never belonged to a Y. I never heard all that locker room gossip. I never had a coach yell at me or anything. Now I have all that.
Hey, Mary, you gotta understand something. I mean, it's not an entertainment center. The guys don't think of it that way. I mean, they go there to work.
Well, so do I. I mean, I try to do my work good, and I like it. Tom, are there rumors that I'm no good at my work?
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Let me tell you about lunch. I think you're gonna like this. Come here. Bologna and cheese in an energy bar. Bologna and cheese in an energy bar. Bologna and cheese in an energy bar. Bologna and cheese in an energy bar.
Wait a minute. Who's that for? Huh?
Oh, these are special meals, special nutritionally balanced meals for Tex and Tiny. It's just like a sample meal, you know, of a very well-balanced diet. I'm trying to rebalance their diet.
Oh, that's great. That's just great, Mary. I mean, that's really great. Not only do you neglect your duties at the house, but now you're going to become what? The communal wife for all the guys at the plant? I mean, Mary, look, why don't you do yourself a favor? Since you don't have a home anymore, why don't you just move in at the plant? Huh? What's that?
Oh, it's just my high school diploma, and this is just a picture of you and Heather, and I just thought I'd bring it to the plant and hang it, you know, on my spot over the conveyor belt. See, it's my spot, Tom. I mean, I love having my very own spot to go to. Hey, fellas, I brought you a little surprise I've hidden under there. Beside a high-protein lunch, I brought a coffee cake and some coffee.
You brought food on the line?
Yeah, sure. Why, is that you're not supposed to do that?
Absolutely no food on the line. It clogs up the conveyor belt.
Well, I don't understand that at all. I mean, a person has to have breakfast. I mean, you really do. How do you expect a person to go to work without having breakfast? I mean, why start slaving this early in the morning without, no food in your stomach at all? So you take 2 minutes, you sit down, you have a nice chat, you have a nice little breakfast, you get acquainted, you break bread together, and you have, like, 2 minutes of silence for the men who have died on the line.
The only lineman that's deceased around here is Garth Kimball from your station, and I don't consider that no good luck charm.
I have his station.
Stop the line like that for no reason.
Hey, look at the goodies.
Tiny.
Yeah, why don't you help yourself to the coffee? And I had a napkin here somewhere. What did I do with it? Here's a napkin. Here's a napkin. Here, Tex. Here's some coffee. You want some coffee?
No. I mean, here we are having a picnic on the line. You better hope Bales don't walk in here.
Hey, listen, are you fellas really afraid of him? I mean, because don't be afraid of Bales. I mean, you know, the bosses aren't going to hurt us for taking one little recess. I mean, they're dependent on us, these guys. I mean, they want us to be happy. I mean, they're really... You can't honestly be here to nab me for a 2-second tiny minute coffee break.
No, we're not interested in your breaks, ma'am.
Are you Mary Hartman?
Yes, I'm Mary Hartman, yes.
We're here about Pat Gimbo.
I'm sorry, but this is an assembly line, and I'm really much too busy, to stop the stool pigeon right now. So, why don't you just help yourself to a piece of coffee cake? Here, would you care for a piece of coffee cake?
We just have a couple of questions we gotta ask you.
Well, nothing. I have absolutely nothing to say. Absolutely nothing. There's a lot of work to be done here, and you can't be a slacker on this job, right? Is that right, Tex? A foreman frowns on a slacker?
You got it.
Right? Yeah.
We understand you were Mrs. Gimbel's closest friend.
Right, that is correct.
Our next-door neighbor, right?
That's right.
We also have reason to believe you know the whereabouts of Mrs. Gimbel, otherwise known as the Christmas tree murderess. She tried to contact you?
For all I know, she was over the gypsies, dancing and playing the violin.
She plays a violin?
No, I didn't say that. It was so nice meeting you. So nice meeting you. Could we pull speed ahead here on the line? Let's go, please.
All right, Mrs. Hartman, just remember that citizens who aid criminals, especially murderers and armed robbers, they can go to the pen for a lot of years.
Gotcha. Listen, why don't you take the cake when you take it, okay?
Hey, come on back here.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. This time, I swear to God, I'll take the blame for it all. I swear. You'll all come to the house for dinner. I'll make it up to you anyway in the house.
Lila, would you give me something to drink, some Pepsi or something like that?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Coming right up.
Now that we're alone, there's something on my mind I've been wanting to say to you.
Oh, sure, Merle. And what can I do for you?
That's exactly what I've been wanting to talk to you about. See,
You were saying?
I was just saying that I need a favor. I need some lemon in this here drink, Lila, please.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Well, I just can't stand it anymore. somewhere along the line, I'm going to have to start feeling the touch of your tender body and your, I don't know, your caresses, your breath, things like that. I need stroking, Wanda. It's that simple.
Here's your lemon. Now, as I understand this, you need stroking?
Let me ask you something. Is it at all possible for a man to have a little privacy in his house? Is that possible?
Oh, Merle, I'm sorry. Listen, if you want to be alone, Lila and I can leave.
No, wait. That isn't what I mean. That's just, you forget about that.
Where you going, boss?
What I mean is, I love you, Wanda.
Oh, Merle. Oh, Merle, that's so sweet. Well, I love you, too. Lila loves you. Lila loves me. I love Lila, so we're all just one big happy family. How nice.
I need some crushed ice in that drink, Lila. Little crushed ice with the Pepsi. In the glass. Okay?
Sure.
I don't know, I can't seem to get through to you, you know? I want you to love just me. Does that make sense to you? I mean, because to me, this three-way thing just ain't it. That ain't cutting it at all. It's not where it's at. You got to remember, Wanda, that one man's treasure is another man's garbage.
And, hold it, Merle. Let me get this straight. Are you saying that I'm garbage?
I'm saying that this is the most ridiculous arrangement I've ever experienced in my life.
Oh, but Merle, you wanted satisfaction. Look, I'm merely providing it.
No, wait a minute. You're talking about it with another woman, though. You're talking about a part-time maid.
Merle, other women have always fascinated you.
Well...
Oh, come on now.
What is...
Don't be provincial. Now, all great politicians have done it. The Greeks, the Romans, the sheiks of Araby, the emperors of China. Now, Merle, you're the one who said that one woman just wasn't enough to please one man.
It don't count anymore, Wanda. That's what I'm trying to get through to you. You're enough for me now.
One Pepsi on crushed ice.
Oh, thanks so much, Lila. Well, I am tired, and I think, thank you, it's just about time I toddled off.
Oh, good.
No, wait a minute there. Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? At their bedroom is just as much mine as it is Wanda's. Now, let's get that clear right now. That's just where we draw the line. There ain't going to be any more games in there. You understand that?
You know, Lila, Merle is absolutely right. Now, his manly needs must be considered.
Well, what are you doing?
Well, I just thought that maybe you and Lila would like the bedroom to yourselves.
Oh, wait a minute here, Wanda. Don't do that.
What?
Don't get cute with me like that. You know damn well it's you I want back in there in that bedroom. What's the matter with you? Now, you know what's happening to you? You've forgotten that I'm the mayor around here. Do you understand that? If I don't start getting some more cooperation from the people around here, there's going to be a major change in the administration. And I mean major. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You got 5 seconds to start coming off that couch, Wanda.
You know, say what you will, Wanda, but I think this is a beautiful way at the end of the day. Man, woman, you know, together, the way that nature really, really intended them to be, you know what I mean?
Right, Merle.
And I knew, as soon as I had you back in my arms again, that everything was going to be all right, the way it used to be. No, you're a very zealous woman, Wanda. And I certainly... Well, I have to respect your political skills, but there's one thing you ought to remember at all times, and that is that, first and foremost, you are a woman, you know? And politician second. You know what I mean? Just a wonderful feeling to be here with you again. You know, I think when you really think about it, this thing of self-denial is, I don't know, I don't think anybody ever got anything out of it except frustrated.
Frustrated.
Yeah. It's real funny. I mean, you know, I'm funny, ha-ha, but I mean, it's strange, almost bordering on the bizarre there, that the more a woman resists something, the more that she really wants it in the end. You know what I mean? Like tonight. And that's what I call vital and warm. Very, very sensuous moment between two people. Private, intimate. It's almost like soul searching.
Yeah, we did an awful lot of searching, Merle.
Yeah. That's exactly what I mean, you know, and look here where we are, you know? Just like two little bugs in a rug. Right? You don't have to answer me. You don't have to say anything, Wanda, I know.
Oh, really?
I know how you feel about the whole thing,
oh,
sure.
Good. You can sense that, can you?
Sure, I can. You're such a, I don't know, kind of wild, basic, almost animalistic kind of thing. It's always been my cup of tea, I know that. Man against woman. Man and woman. Woman and woman. Woman and woman. I mean, you know, you're really fence riding ridiculous when you think about the amount of upset we put into the garbage of that woman sleeping with another woman thing. That was absurd. You know what I mean?
Merle, let me get this straight. Are you asking me to compare you with Lila?
Of course I'm not.
I didn't think so.
You lost your senses altogether, woman.
Ridiculous. It's pretty funny, isn't it?
Of course. I know you want to. You know, if that's going to make you feel any better about telling me, well.
Oh, Merle. Can't you tell?
Sure I can. Sure we can.
I have a lot of emotions that don't usually go together right now. So we start with Tom in the kitchen, and Mary is doing what we would consider a normal workout routine, just getting up in the morning, but is maybe seen as a bit odd in the 1970s. I think the jogging craze didn't happen until the 1980s. And sure, there's been fitness stuff happening in American media for, decades. But in the 1970s, apparently getting up for a morning workout was not something that was seen as normal before going to work. She is seeing things differently from Tom, right? So Tom sees work as this hellish place that is, where his soul got sucked away, and people are really more content to just be the way that it was. And Mary sees this as an opportunity, right? So last week she was crying in bed because she couldn't say because. And now she seems to have something that gives her some happiness. Now, mind you, there are, as we found yesterday, unwritten rules to being in the workplace that Mary hasn't quite figured out. So coming into the factory with a bunch of sandwiches, well, that's not an unwritten rule. That's an actual rule. Don't have food at the line. Perhaps Mary could have found a more appropriate place to put the food, not to stop the work to make it happen. Do it before or during the break time. That would be appropriate, of course. This is a show where people do inappropriate things. Mary then gets a visit from those policemen that she saw yesterday, only they are there because Pat Gimble is still on the loose. And, well, there's an untold story there. We don't know what happened last Friday after the Romanis show up. But Mary does, and she clearly, as always, is hiding the information. She wants to be helpful, but sometimes helping is doing something that is illegal in this case. She often has to keep a secret, and she's not really good at hiding that she has a secret, at least from us, the audience. Of course, people in Fernwood don't necessarily pick up on the fact that she's clearly obfuscating. And then we see the Jeter residence with Merle in his triad, right? Or Wanda's triad, because Merle doesn't want anything to do with it. And Wanda and Lila are on the same page. I wrote a sketch when I was in the Second City Training Center writing program. I've done a lot of improv and sketch writing training in my days. Yeah, I wrote a sketch about a guy who woke up from hooking up with someone only to find out that she was married and in an open relationship. And, it was the basic point of view of this one character was that they were monogamous, and that was the humorous bit. And it played with that in terms of how we look at relationships in general. And that is the discussion in the first half of the scene, right, with Merle and Wanda. Merle, though he has previously lusted for anybody and everybody, like he slept with Big Honey on their wedding night, now that they are settled into the marriage, he's looking for something very monogamous. Though, just a couple of weeks ago, he seemed to be really creeping on Mary Hartman. Now he wants a monogamous relationship, which wasn't really the terms of the agreement, right? That's not what Wanda promised Merle when she accepted his proposal. He could have anyone that he wanted. Cutting to the next scene, Merle is very clearly homophobic. The idea of a woman sleeping with another woman fills him with disgust. And disgust and chills were the things that I was feeling, so I said I had feelings that don't necessarily go together. I mean, maybe those feelings do go together, but those were the things that I was feeling. I was chilled the whole way through because Merle has coerced Wanda to take the bed and to sleep with him. And that was gross. And then Wanda clearly she has a lot of feelings on her face that I can't verbalize, mainly because the words aren't occurring to me what she might be feeling. But Merle has his view of what is right in a marriage, and it's not the same as what Wanda views. Wanda has settled into a triad. Mind you, it wasn't a triad that Merle asked for, but this conversation, I'm not sure where it goes. If the points of view are as disparate as they seem, Merle just wants a monogamous relationship now. The philanderer that Merle is, right, being in a monogamous relationship but then cheating, is quite different than the triad that Wanda has set up. that is a pretty big difference. It's not insignificant. And Merle doesn't want Lila in that way. Well, Merle doesn't want to share Lila with Wanda. At this point, it seems clear that Merle wants Wanda to provide the attention. Merle feels neglected or abandoned. I won't say that those feelings are invalid, but this conversation has a lot of really crazy nuance to it that is more complicated than one episode, I think, can get across. There's just so... either it's incompatible entirely, or they've got to really come to terms, because Wanda seems very unhappy. And I don't know if this gets fixed. Don't spoil it if you know what comes later, but I don't know if this were a real relationship, how you could reconcile those points of view. I just can't see it. So everyone, that was our midweek episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you so much for leaving your thoughts, feelings, and impressions in the comments. Thank you for taking in these eventful exploits. And we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.